Welcome to episode 101 of Auto Off Topic.
What's up, Brad?
Oh, not much. Andrew, what's up with you?
Not too much. Some cool news. Our theme music, which is by Z28.
Yes, great band,
Yes.
if I do say so myself, with our friend Jay on featured.
Mm-hmm. They are releasing their first full studio-length album, Nobody Rides for Free, on August 10th.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on Fuzz
Doom.
Records. I knew I was going to mess that up. But if you go to Fuzz Doom Records, Google it, Bandcamp, you'll find it.
I think it's just bandcamp.fuzzdoom, isn't it?
It's fuzzdoom.bandcamp.
Okay, whatever.
Blah, 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 whatever that super long URL is. Just Google it. Or put it into Facebook. They have it on their Facebook page, Fuzz Doom. There's also Z28 band Facebook page that we put a link to their. We also put a link to their Bandcamp in the show notes every week.
Mm-hmm.
When this episode goes live, there will have already been a link posted to our Facebook page.
Okay, excellent.
For the record.
So for our Facebook page as well, you can go to there and get a link to Z28's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got digital download, and then you can pre-order a CD, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely really good, especially if you like good hard rock music.
Yeah. What would you? Is it like?
It's like a
California, like.
It's like Southern California stoner rock / metal.
Kind of goes with like the Vannon documentary we talked about, like.
Yeah. Well, if you've ever heard the band Fu Manchu,
yeah, it reminds me of that.
It's a very similar vibe to them.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
So
definitely fits the Z28 moniker.
Oh yeah,
it's the kind of music I would expect somebody driving a '79 Z28 to be cranking down the road.
Yeah, because they don't have a first gen Z28 like a '69. It's a second gen.
All the logos and all the pictures from the band are all second gen Z28s. Yeah.
That definitely fits that '70s aesthetic more.
Yep, it's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. So check them out.
Yep, their album's really good. I think the opening track will have you hooked because that's real good.
Yep. I guess we'll get right into Project Car updates.
Sure, why not? We have a couple of good ones coming up, or happened.
Yeah. Today, we talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about it every week for a year, almost.
Probably 40 episodes.
Yeah.
It's been 10 months.
10 months.
The WRX has a valid state inspection sticker.
Correct.
It's pretty sweet.
Is awesome because now you won't get pulled over again because you did.
I made it 10 months without getting pulled over until the other night.
Did it let you go, though?
Yes, he did. Give me a written warning.
Or written warning, so it's on record. So if you got pulled over for it again, they'd be like, well, sir.
Yeah, he said it doesn't go against me, but obviously they would know that I've been pulled over for it and I've been running around with it.
It doesn't go against you, but it goes against you.
Because he asked me, so my work moved to a tiny town that's in the north central part of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much going on. And I'm leaving work about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And I passed by a police officer. And I've seen him park, or I don't know if it's the same officer, but I've seen them park in the same spot before, and I've driven past them. So maybe he's seen the car before and then just noticed it the other day.
Right.
And, I get by him, and then, I see the lights come on. I was like, maybe he's going to a call. And, somebody had, pulled out in front of him, and then they pulled over, and then I pulled over, and they pulled behind me.
Oops.
Oh, I know what this is about.
Yeah, immediately.
He's like, why I pulled you over? I go,
my luck has run out, sir.
He goes, that inspection sticker? I go, yep.
Well, you had a rejection sticker on it?
Yeah, black R. From 2018. So it was old.
Oh, okay.
It's a different color. It's green.
Okay.
Stickers this year. Had I got the rejection sticker this year, it would be red. And yeah, he might be able to skirt by. But since the last way to get a green rejection would be in December
yeah.
of 2018. Yeah.
2017. We're in
yes,
2018
I don't
now.
know what year this is. Yeah. It's been expired for a while.
Yes, it has.
But I've been trying to track down the problem, so.
Well, to be fair, you get 60 days to fix it.
I do, and I tried to fix it.
And it took you about 60 days of working on it to fix it.
It's true.
Just not consecutive.
It's true.
Right. So we'll let it slide.
Fair
That's
enough.
why he gave you
the
a
rest of
warning.
the car was perfectly safe. So.
As far as you knew.
No,
he didn't know that.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't a red R.
No, it wasn't
and
a red
R. Is a safety violation.
Yeah.
It was a black R, which is an emissions violation.
And the Montero had a red R, and I fixed it within 3 days.
Yep.
So.
Technically, you're supposed to fix it within 1 day.
Yeah. Well, it's that's because they want you to fix it at the shop.
Yeah.
But whatever. Regardless, I have a January sticker on it now.
So why is it only good till January?
Because the rejection is good for 60 days.
Yep.
So I assume that October 60 days roughly to January. So it would give you the max amount that it would be the next month.
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe you got it went
If
to when.
if I had been able to reinspect it and brought it back in December, I would have got a 10 on it.
Okay.
But
But
since
because it went beyond that,
yeah, they just give me at the beginning of the year.
So you have to get another sticker in 3 months.
Yes.
5 months, whatever.
Yes, but in 2019, the car is emissions exempt. So if the check engine light is on again for some
doesn't
reason,
matter.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It just has to be safe, which is it's easier to keep a car safe sometimes.
Which is what we tried to do.
Yeah.
We care more about that than anything else.
Yeah.
We don't want wheels falling
Then
off
try to-
driving down the highway.
Fix emissions all the time.
Okay. I got you.
So
Because Massachusetts has a rolling 19-year cutoff?
15 year.
15-year cutoff. Okay, so the car's 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
2004.
Yeah.
Seems like a brand new car.
It does, especially since it's one of our closest friends that bought that car brand new.
So it's always been around us since
And
brand
I remember that day he brought it to
I do, too.
the driveway to show it to us at our parents' houses, which were across the street
he
from one another.
signed the title over to me. It had 13 miles on it when it sold it to him.
Crazy.
And now it's got almost 176,000.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Nope.
I remember being jealous because I had a broken Talon at the time.
No, but I think you had an Audi. You had an Audi in '04. You had the 2001 Audi.
No, I had the Audi in '03.
Yeah.
So it was him buying that WRX that pushed me to be like, I'm going to go see if I can buy a car. And I traded the Audi in for the Evo right afterwards.
Yeah, the used '03.
So, okay, yeah. So it's probably that part of '04 I did have the Audi. You're right.
And I had my Civic Si, almost the same color.
Yep.
So that's
Different
how that went.
time. Different time.
No, I can't believe it was 15 years ago. That's like this month makes. I bought the Talon in 2001,
Mm-hmm.
so that's 17 years. I've had that one car,
That's insanity.
which is really weird.
Yep.
I've had that car half of my adult life.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yep. Not even half of my adult life. I guess just half of my life.
Half of your life, period. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we got that car, too.
Yep.
Very well.
So anyway, I still have to get to that car, but we'll get there. First,
Mm-hmm.
as we've said, we're going to Radwood
We are.
in Atlanta, and there's going to be one in Philly. They announced,
Which we're also going to go to.
on
And we're going to bring more
October
than one
14th.
car. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to get the Talon ready for that,
Excellent.
and the Glant will be ready, and then you will
I'm
try to get.
going to try to have Sapporo ready at least.
Yeah.
And who knows what else I'll have
Yeah.
by then.
So Stephanie can drive the Glant.
We
down.
can bring a whole
Yeah.
army of cars to that one.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
But anyway, you and I are driving the Glant down, so we need to get it ready. So this weekend we're going to do the oil change
Mm-hmm.
and just double check everything, make sure it's nice and all the suspension's nice and tight.
Safe for a trip.
It should be good to go, but
It
if
should
not,
be.
there's
And the
enough.
car's been to Texas and back, and we have enough time.
It was
to
a
get-
while ago, but
yeah.
I did drive it like a week ago, probably 100 miles in heat.
It was in heat. Looking for other Gallants.
Strangely, yes. Now I drove up to Nashua, met up with Jordan. We drove over to Cars and Coffee in Salem.
Right.
So it was a good little.
Oh, that's a
Loop.
roundabout way to get there.
Yeah, it was a good little loop for the car though, because there was a couple problems that I addressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we address the warm running?
The other night it wasn't doing that.
Maybe we'll just burp it again. Is it an air bubble or something?
No, I don't know. I'll double check it again.
Because that's going to be important when driving to Atlanta.
Well, it's not running too hot though.
It's running warmer than usual.
Yeah,
Or maybe it's just the new radiator and the thermostat, just how it runs.
It might be. I mean, if you're running at speed, it's fine. It was when it was idling.
Okay. And it wasn't real hot. What was it at? Like 210?
It's 210, and
Yeah.
then what happens is it raises the idle. The ECU does to flow more
Compensate.
coolant,
Yeah.
and so it's mostly just annoying because it's idling high. But
Right. It could be a coolant temp sensor.
it could be. I can grab one.
Yeah. They're like $20.
Yeah.
That's always been a problem I've had with every Mitsubishi I've
They
ever
wear
owned.
out
They
after a
wear
while.
out. I replace them all the time.
Even OEM ones, they wear out like
Yes, they
pretty
do.
quickly. Um,
I
that's
almost,
I'm
I
gonna
almost always had one in the glove box of the Starion.
Yeah, and even if I don't change it beforehand, I'll just grab one to bring.
Right. Yeah, we
But
should
because
probably bring like a thermostat, an alternator, um, temp sensor, those kinds of common things. Starter, maybe.
no,
Maybe less a starter.
both of those things are OEM.
I would still bring an alternator
No,
based on my Mitsubishi experience.
no, they're OEM rebuilds.
All right. Knock on the wood of the deal here.
No, they're fine. Um, and they're not hard to find either.
Okay. As long as it's not hard to find, I don't care.
Yeah, I do want to flush the brake fluid, and I'd like to. I need a hand with it because it's kind of a big job. The uh, door trim, the paint on the door trim.
Literally a smaller job than flushing the brakes.
No, because it's a lot of masking off
Yeah, it's not a
and
big deal.
sanding, like wet sanding. Because somebody had tried to fix it, and there's all like you can tell where the paint fish-eyed from spray painting it and ran.
Yep, they didn't do a very good job
No,
at all.
no. So we need to wet sand the black, and
Yes.
then spend a bunch of time masking it off.
Not a lot of time at all.
Well, whoever did it didn't really do a good job because I remember when I got the car, it had overspray on the windows.
We'll do a much better job very quickly.
Yes. And I have an awesome period correct accessory for it.
A couple, actually, now that we talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'll put those. We'll show those in a video.
Installation video.
Yeah.
In the garage.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they're pretty rad, and they'll look cool in the car.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. We should definitely film it in some kind of like 80s style. We can make this happen.
Yes.
And I want to do the other thing I talked about to the car, too. Which
Oh.
I don't want to talk about now because I'll give it away. But I'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah, because I don't remember what it is, so you have to tell me afterwards. Oh, okay.
Yes. I just hand gestured and he figured it out.
So that's what I have for project updates. What do you got?
Actually, an exciting one. Speaking of cars that I've owned for, speaking of cars that we've owned for more than half of our lives.
Yeah.
It's been down for a couple of years for a pretty simple repair. Because at first I didn't realize it was a simple repair. I thought it was a difficult repair, and I just parked it and didn't touch it. Didn't even look at it. Didn't even properly diagnose it. But I have that '68 Camaro that I've had. If you want to get technical about it, I've had it since I was 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and now I am 37. 37. Yeah, 37. So I've had the car for 29 of my 37 years, which is a long time to own anything.
Mm-hmm.
Especially something that you drove when you were a teenager and easily could have ruined at that time. Thankfully, I did not. So about almost exactly 2 years ago, because I took pictures of the car last time I took it out, and they were dated August 3rd, 2016.
Oh.
So it's been almost exactly 2 years. I pulled the car out of the garage early August 2016, and all of a sudden it was a smoke screen everywhere. So I immediately ran around the front of the car and looked under the hood and just saw that there was oil pouring all over the exhaust manifolds. Well, the exhaust where it went down under the car.
Cool.
Yeah, not good. So I shut the car off, pushed it back in the garage, said I'll deal with this later. I don't have time to deal with it today. At that time in my life, there was a lot of stuff going down, a lot of stuff going on, and I just didn't have time to deal with it. Didn't look at it for the entire rest of that season. Didn't look at it for the entire 2017 driving season, just because that was an even crazier time in my life with a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just never had a chance to look at it. So the beginning of this driving season, when the car is stored at my parents' house in his garage, and he pulls all the cars out every spring, kind of ritually, and cleans the garage floor and gets the cars all organized for the year of driving the cars. Again, for our outside of New England listeners, yes, we have a driving season because we can't drive in the wintertime. He pulled the car outside and he started it and he ran it just enough to get it outside and shut it right off again. But he decided to delve into it a little deeper. Now, what I had imagined had happened, without even looking at the car, was possibly the rear main seal on the engine had let go, because it looked like it was pouring out around the bell housing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was getting onto the exhaust that way. Andrew does not like the beer that I brought tonight, apparently. That look was of absolute disgust on his
I'll
face.
drink it.
He just
It's
took
kind
a
of
sip.
weird.
Anyway, it's a Wachusett Mass Sole, which is a take on obviously the Mass Hole. Um,
Oh, really?
yes.
Is
Well,
that what it is?
people who aren't from Massachusetts don't know the Mass Hole thing. So anyway, I think it's delicious, but Andrew does not like it because he does not like IPAs all the time. Anyway, so I assumed it was the rear main seal. You probably shouldn't put that there. It's your phone. I'm gonna sweat all over it. There you go. I assumed it was the rear main seal, and it was leaking out of the exhaust manifolds and causing the smoke. So I was gonna have to pull the transmission and do a clutch, the whole 9 yards. Um, my father knew my frustration level with it and everything that had been going on in my life in the past year, and he decided he was going to look a little closer at it and realized that all it was the oil pressure gauge inside the car is mechanical, and it has a hard plastic line.
If you ever installed an aftermarket like oil pressure gauge or a boost gauge and has that nylon tube, that's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Basically,
Exactly what it is.
that like chintzy looking nylon tube.
Yep. So it's a oil line that goes from the back of the motor engine, excuse me, Andrew, back of the engine through a hole in the firewall into the center console where the gauge is.
Yep.
And it had broken at the engine block. So when the car was running and there was oil pressure, it was spitting that oil out, and where the line had broken and fallen to was next to the transmission. So it looked like it was coming out of the bell housing.
Mm-hmm.
So hence why I assumed that it was coming out of the rear main seal.
Well, 50-year-old car.
50-year-old brittle plastic line.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So I finally ordered the part. It was $8 whole from whatever restoration house I bought it from, because it's a Camaro. You can literally build one from a VIN number and make a whole car from scratch pretty much. So I bought one from one of the restoration places. It was like $8, included the fittings. It required taking apart the entire center console
Mm-hmm.
because the gauges on the SS in the first 3 years of Camaros, there's 4 gauges in the front of the console.
Was that a package like a rally gauge pack or something?
It was it was part of the SS package.
Okay.
They came with the center console with the gauges in them.
Yeah.
So it has a temperature gauge, a voltmeter.
It's like a competition gauge pack or
Yeah.
something.
So the fuel gauge is there,
Yeah.
the voltmeter, the temperature gauge, and the oil pressure gauge.
Well, that's where the fuel gauge is there.
It is. If you don't have the gauge pack, it's in the cluster.
Huh.
But my car, where the fuel gauge would be, has a clock
Oh.
in the middle of the tachometer. They call it the tick-tock tach.
Oh, that's right. That's a cool little fact
Yeah,
about
so
that.
that's where the fuel gauge would be, I
'Cause
think, on a non-SS.
The tack on that car is really cool looking because it looks like a chronograph.
Mm-hmm. I know, yeah, it's got the clock in the middle of it,
Yeah.
which I should at some point take apart and send out and have rebuilt
But
because the
the-
clock does not work. But
Well, yes, it has a clock in it, but it also looks like a chronograph. Like a chronograph is just the dial of a watch. Like
mm-hmm.
that's what it looks like.
It's a very cool gauge package.
It's really cool looking. Yeah.
But anyway, so I had to take apart the center console. I've never had the gauges apart before, and they're very interesting looking when they're apart because the face of the gauges, unlike in modern cars where you have like a piece of plastic with a printed, sticker over it, these are little aluminum trays, each gauge face,
Mm-hmm.
and the meters are like painted on them, so they're real intricate looking and fancy looking when you get the whole car taken
Yeah, I wonder
apart.
if they were like screen printed or something on the, or lithographed.
Probably some kind of lithograph. Yeah,
That's what I'm
They're very
thinking of.
interesting looking though because they're very intricate, and they look like the aluminum trays look like miniature little cookie trays.
Do they have like a name on them? Like Stuart Warner or something, or like
I think there's AC,
VDOs or just AC Delco
Yeah.
gauges?
AC, which I also learned an interesting fact about the other day, which I'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
But anyway, it wasn't a hard job. I think the hardest job was fitting through the firewall and getting it down to where it needed to be
Cool.
to the back of the gauge. But the whole job, from beginning to end, probably took me 2.5 hours.
Nice.
And that's only because I was struggling with the hose was shipped to me, and the fitting was too far up on the hose, and I was having a hard time getting it over the edge of the hose, pull it down towards it where it would catch the
The ferrule.
the ferrule and the other half of the ferrule in the car.
Yeah, it's like a little compression fitting.
Exactly. But there's like a metal a metal um, piece in the end of the hose that brings down from the size of the hose to a smaller pinhole to
Mm-hmm.
create the proper pressure.
Yeah.
And the little ferrule wouldn't fit over that very easily, so I had to like build a little jig to make it go down a little further so I could reach the ferrule in the car.
Yeah, my dad said he walked over and investigated what you were doing.
Yes, he did. But yeah, I got it all taken care of and figured out. So yeah, your father always likes to poke his nose into what's going on car wise, which I appreciate greatly. I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
Well, I mean, he grew up with old muscle cars. So he asked him stuff about 60s
Yeah, no,
American cars. It's like, yeah.
no, it's awesome, and it feels good to do things by yourself without anybody else help
Yeah.
sometimes. But it's also good to know that he's there with the knowledge if you need it.
Yeah.
So thankfully, this was a pretty simple, straightforward job, and I was able to take care of it. But it was very satisfying to get the car back together, to fire it up. I think I posted a video to our Instagram page.
You did.
Which you made fun of because it was blurry, and it probably was blurry because I had like grease on my hand when I picked the phone up, and it was on the lens, and I was too excited to even notice because the car was running for the first time
Yeah.
in 2 years. And I just posted it up and called it a day.
I know. I haven't ridden in the car in a while.
I hadn't driven it in 2 years, so it's been at least that
We
long
could,
for you.
We've got that new mic set up. We could do a driving podcast from it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that. So yeah, it went together easier than it came apart. Everything worked. Obviously, I tested everything before I put it back together. I made sure all 4 bulbs in the console were working. So I was going to buy new bulbs if they weren't. I couldn't remember. And they were until I put it together. And 1 bulb burnt out later that day. So it must have just
You
been
disturbed it.
jostled around enough.
The
So
filament was like weak.
yeah, it's super annoyed. Thankfully, it's only, I think, 6 bolts to take it apart. So I'll take it back apart again and put new bulbs in it. Maybe some brighter, more modern bulbs so you can see the gauges better and show them off a little better at nighttime. But yeah, the whole project went pretty smoothly. So I'm pretty happy with it. I took it the next day. I did about 150 miles, I think, in the car,
Nice.
and without a hiccup. At first, there was some extra residual smoke from just the oil that had leaked out, burning
yeah.
off.
Yeah.
But once all that burned off, I mean, the car ran great. No complaints. I just need to get new tires for it because they're well past their prime.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're not totally the right size either.
they're a little oversized, and the wheel offset is a little off because I have those American Racing Coke bottle style.
They look like the
Wheels on there.
Libras that you have on the Colt, but
They're,
they're not.
they're a 5-spoke version of the 4-spoke Libras. It's the same design wheel. Yep, it is the same wheel. But the offset is a little too deep in the front. It probably wouldn't be so bad at the proper size tire on it, but I literally put those tires on when I was 16.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and they're old, so it's time to change them out.
Get some.
They weren't new then.
Get some BFGTAs on there.
Um,
White letters out.
honestly, I think I'm going to switch back to the green steel wheels that
Okay.
the car came with some brand new shiny chrome lug nuts over the
And,
green steel.
You gonna get like red lines?
Either actual BFG white letters,
Okay.
which might look cool with that setup,
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
yeah, or the red line.
Because you have the actual NOS chin spoiler for it, don't you?
I do have a chin spoiler for it, yeah.
It's a real NOS part,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
What I'd like to find is a set of like mini lights style wheels for it, but I don't have the budget right now for that. So
Just do
I
the-
have the green steel wheels, so I'm just gonna do that for
But
now.
the steel wheels are what originally came with the car, and they're color matched to it, right?
It came with the green steel wheels with dog ditch hubcaps, but I don't want to run the hubcaps. I think I want to run chrome lug nuts with no center caps.
You should just do that.
Yeah,
Just do that.
just change it up because the car has literally looked the same since I was 16. I haven't changed a thing.
Yeah, do the
So
green
I mean,
wheels.
you can't change too much because it's an all original, unpainted, unrestored '68 Camaro SS
but put-
350 two-owner car.
Yeah,
But I can do little things like that, and I have that factory front chin spoiler for it, and I have
yeah. Put that stuff on. 'Cause
Yeah.
just do that.
Yep.
That's literally all you need to do.
Yep.
And it looks super, super cool.
and I may.
And the exhaust has rotted in such a way that it sounds cool.
No, the exhaust is not rotted. The exhaust has changed.
Oh, you fixed the exhaust.
Yeah, years ago.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, many many years ago. I may change out the front springs.
It does sit a little high in the front.
It's especially noticeable when you're parked next to another first gen Camaro.
I wonder why.
I don't know if the wrong springs were in it or something, because the guy had done some weird stuff here and there to the car, so he might have changed the springs out for a stiffer spring rate. And
Weird.
it definitely sits higher. And my father has that 67, and they're parked side by side often, and it's like 2 inches taller than his in the front. So
Change the tires first.
it's definitely partially the tires, but it's definitely more than just the tires. And I think the car would look cool with a nice wide white letter tire on steel wheels with a minor little subtle lowering. I'm not talking about like stuffing the car to the ground, but just a subtle little drop.
Do it.
Trans Am style, but a convertible, because it's a convertible. So, but anyway, yeah, it was awesome. Went to the Cars and Coffee the next day, and it was good.
Yeah, how big was Cars and Coffee?
Big as it is. That's
This is the southern
Seacoast.
Seacoast.
Seacoast Cars and Coffee. Yes, the one in Newington, New Hampshire, at the Box Run Mall. So yeah, it's a good show.
Huge, right?
It wasn't as big as last week, but it was still probably 300 or 400 cars, which is big for Cars and Coffee around here for sure. And then after that, I went for the same ride I described at the last Seacoast Cars and Coffee, where I went out with our friend May Lynn with her Mini Cooper,
Mhm.
and just kind of did like a Seacoast drive slowly back to Massachusetts.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a good time. But the Camaro is back out. Life is good.
Nice.
So we'll have to do some pictures and content because I haven't done that.
Yep, we haven't done it in a while. To be cliched, this beer is very dank.
It is.
It's probably the most hoppy East Coast IPA I've had in a long while.
It's not that hoppy.
Really? Why does it taste bitter?
I don't know. I don't think it tastes bitter at all.
To me, it tastes bitter like
No.
it has a lot of hops.
I think it's delicious.
I don't know. The beer you brought over, the other beer, the Blood Orange Guppy.
Yeah, that's from Pipe Dream in Chicago.
Yeah, but it's a session IPA,
Mhm.
so it's a little sweeter. and
Yeah,
less alcohol.
plus it has the blood orange.
Yeah.
But no, I recommend the Wachusett Mass Soul because it's good. I think, but obviously, beer is very subjective. Is there anything with flavor?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's good.
Scale Project car updates? Anything?
Interesting one.
Okay.
So I got you one of the Hot Wheels Datsun 510s.
Yeah, you lucky dog. You found like
I found 3 of them.
3?
Which is weird because I had gone to that particular store. If you're into Hot Wheels collecting at all, you know how hard it is to find anything Japanese, especially the premium ones,
Yeah.
because they get bought up in bulk by people and put on eBay.
And especially in like a heavily populated area like here, they
Yes,
just get
they
wiped out.
disappear immediately. Yeah. So I happened to go to that particular retailer the night before, and I noticed that they were doing a reset of the Hot Wheels section.
Mhm.
And I said, you know what? As a joke, not a joke, but as a experiment, I'm gonna pop in here tomorrow and see what else gets put out.
Mm-hmm.
So that 50th anniversary Hot Wheels series has the Datsun 510, Volkswagen Squareback, 56 Chevy, and an Econoline pickup,
They've kind of been
and an AMC
recycling
Javelin.
a lot of the same castings for a while.
They only have so many.
Yeah.
You know, they sell when they make what's popular.
Yeah.
So, but the night before they had all of the other cars except for the 510 wagon. So in my brain, I was like, some guy came in here and bought all the 510 wagons and is selling them on eBay. That's annoying.
Yep.
So I came in the next day to see if they had put out new stuff because there's a few things that I'm looking for that are current Hot Wheels releases. And all of the 50th anniversary cars are gone except for 3 510 wagons.
Sweet.
So I wonder if somebody had hidden them somewhere in the store to buy them later.
And they found them.
And staff found them, put them back where they belonged, and I found them. So I bought all 3 of them. Not to be a jerk, put them on eBay, but to give to my friends and keep one for myself.
Fair enough.
Yes. Because I know there's no other way for them to get them. And
Mhm.
I'm not a scalper. I'm not looking to make,
Nope.
sell a $5 car for $9 on eBay. It's not worth my time. So I bought them to give to people. So you now have the 50th anniversary 510 wagon.
I do. It's
So-
pretty cool. It's got those 4 spokes.
Yes, with the stretched tires and full detail around. It's very cool. Scale Project cars.
Yep.
This is a future Scale Project car.
Okay.
I've been looking for it for a long time for a reasonable price.
Okay.
In the diecast world, nobody makes first-gen Eclipses until recently when that 143rd came out that we talked
Which was
about
actually
in the past.
resin.
Yes, it wasn't even diecast.
A lot of the newer stuff is resin, but that's very cool.
So there's only been 2 diecast first-gen Eclipses in the history of diecast and Eclipses.
Okay.
One of which is a 1/16th scale
Yeah.
that was made by Mitsubishi when the car first came out to promote the car and only given to employees of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And one was not branded as a Mitsubishi at all. It was branded as a no-name vehicle and sold by a company called Ertl
Yeah.
as what they called their Speed Strips series. So the Speed Strip series were these Hot Wheels sized cars that had a little view box that you put on them. And as you turned the dial on the view box, there's a cartoon strip inside the car that you can read, like the little comic about the car and the police officer trying to catch the car inside the little comic strip inside the car. So there's no interior detail. It has a weird, dumb comic strip in it. But I've been looking for one for a very long time, and they're usually a dumb amount of money.
Yeah.
So I picked this up the other day when it popped up on eBay cheaply, and it is a Ertl Speed Strips first gen Eclipse.
Oh, it's so weird.
Isn't that sweet? So they don't call it an Eclipse. They call it a red. Look at the back of the package. What does it say? On the bottom row there.
It is
Red Heat or something?
Red Heat Invasion of the Garbage Catcher.
Correct. That's the comic strip Invasion of the Garbage Catch that's inside the car that you do a little viewfinder below. Now, as a kid, I had a bunch of these. I never had this one.
That's so weird.
So, but it's 100% a first gen Eclipse Talon laser.
Oh, it definitely is.
There's nothing about it that's not. The pop headlights, the fog lights, the cladding, the spoiler,
Oh, look at that guy. The kid's so happy.
right? There's an instruction manual on the back of how to do it, so we can open that up and you can read the comic live on air if you would like. But the intention for this car is
Oh, look at that. What a trip. Toys R Us tag is
Yep.
still on here.
Yeah, $2.99 it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So I had a couple of these growing up. I had the RX-7, which wasn't called an RX-7, and I had the Corvette, which wasn't called a Corvette. None of these were licensed, but they were exact copies of real cars.
Snap the car onto viewer and see the action-packed adventure inside. Will Sheriff Puckett win?
Right, he never does. Spoiler alert. So I remember these growing up. I don't remember this car because I didn't know what an Eclipse was when I was, 7 years old. But if you look at the back of the package in the bottom, it's a Corvette and a RX-7. And I had both of those. So it's a dumb toy.
What a rip on Smoking the Bandit, too. Buford T. Puckett.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, my God.
Oh, 100%.
God, they couldn't... No originality.
No. Well, it's Ertl. What do you want?
Oh, that's perfect, too. Look, like a hot dog day afternoon.
Yeah.
Honey, I hit the hydrant. A toast to Mr. Chicken. Gone with the Bees. Lawman of the Jungle. Lawman meets Jane.
Now, but look at the names of the cars. All of them are somewhat related to the kind of car they are.
Yeah.
Like the Camaro is like the Rock.
Yeah.
And the Thunderbird is like, what is the Thunderbird one?
The C4 Corvette is Scorcher.
Yeah.
Two Men and a Squirrel? What?
That sounds disturbing.
World According to Carp? I don't understand. Full Metal Ladder? Silver Knight?
Yeah, so those are the names
So
of the comic
weird.
strips that are inside the car. So you snap the car on that little viewer, and you put it up to the light, and the light goes through the windshield of the car, and then it backlights the comic strip inside the car, so you can like scroll through it with a little dial. So I specifically remember these things growing up, but when I found out they made an Eclipse one, it became my mission to find one, and I found one.
That's wild.
That wasn't $30 or $40 because usually they're $30 or $40. The rest of them you can buy super cheap, like $3 or $4. But for some reason, the Eclipse one goes for huge money when it pops up for sale.
I don't know. They're apparently the only time these cars go for huge money.
Yeah, well, it's probably because it's the only Hot Wheels sized first gen Eclipse ever.
I know. That's pretty cool, though.
Like ever. Do you have the other one down here? We'll put that on the video.
It's it's right up there. It's right up on the shelf. This is the resin one.
Yes, careful. Hey, hold it, obviously, so it doesn't pop out the
Yeah.
bottom.
So that's like super detailed, nice.
Yeah, well, that's the first real, other than the one that was released by Mitsubishi in 1989, or maybe even 1988. That was 1/16th scale, which is an odd scale.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first like collector level
Mm-hmm.
Eclipse first gen DSM that was ever done. So we bought a few of those, even though they were kind of expensive.
Oh, and here's the beer we have.
Yes.
This was really good. And then,
This is also really good, despite what Andrew thinks.
yeah, it's not great.
If you're in Massachusetts, give it a try. That'll
Anyway.
get us out of here. Thanks for watching.
We'll get back to the...
Yeah, there's a live video there. For those listening to the podcast, we just talked about that because there was a live video going.
Yeah.
Which is now off. But anyway, let me take this card. I'm going to open
It's on
this
the
up
story,
real quick.
though.
So my plan with this car is I'm going to take it apart
Okay.
and I'm going to strip it and paint it
No,
blue.
you're ruining the... You're opening the package.
I'm going to make it blue, blue,
Oh.
black, and silver. I'm protecting all of the graphics in the package, Andrew. Don't worry.
Oh.
We have to get this thing into the...
It's not worth as much. Well, don't knock that off the counter.
So it's a fairly
It's
accurate...
kind of pink.
Yeah. Let's try faded. No, it's not faded.
It's pretty
But
accurate.
It's very accurate. You can see the little comic strip in the bottom.
Oh, that's so bizarre.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's easy to take apart. Just unscrew it
Oh, there's screws on it?
right on
Nice.
the bottom.
I gotta find a nice set of scale 6 spokes for it and build a copy of my old car. I'll just paint the windows black.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the right front and rear bumpers, but it's close enough.
Close enough. Considering.
It's pretty weird.
It's very weird. Would you like to read the comic?
Yeah, let me see this thing.
Not exactly the best
How does this go on? Like,
podcast fodder
like
here,
that.
but
oh, weird. And you look through.
do you see the comic?
I do see the comic. I don't know where it starts. Which way you go?
Oh, I don't know how that works.
3, 2. Oh, they're numbered. So I'm turning it. I'm looking through it.
Yes, I'm taking a picture so we
So
can
there's
have a picture of
one.
Andrew.
Yeah, like Jordan with the Datsun said the kid liked it so much he jammed it into his eyeball.
Yeah.
So it's screaming towards the dump. The police car is chasing him. There's another police car. He hit something. Oh, he slammed into the back of the garbage truck. And now Buford T. Pickett is covered in garbage, kind of like Biff in Back to the Future.
Right, more rip-offs.
Yeah, and then that's it. It comes back around. That's all that's there.
So anyway, yeah, the cars all have generic names that are close to what the kind of cars are. The Camaro is called Rockman. The Firebird is called Firefly. There's a
Yeah.
Bronco called Bronco Buster.
Let's see if we can... Oh, yeah, there it is. It's kind of weird.
Can you get a picture of it through the thing?
I can. So that's number 1. And there's number 2. And there's number 3. And then...
Are you doing a video of this?
Yeah, I'm videoing it
Oh,
as
excellent.
we're doing it.
Excellent.
Riveting.
So yeah, if you don't like the audio of the podcast, go to the Instagram page and you can see it there. But anyway, I thought it was a cool, dumb little thing to pick
Yeah.
up, and because of the scarcity of first-gen Eclipse in scale, if I see one, I pick it up.
Weird. It focused before, but now it won't focus.
I do have some rather exciting
That's super weird.
first-gen scale
Anyway.
diecast news.
Yeah,
But
let's keep
we'll
going.
save that for next week. So, anyway, moving on. Anything else going on, Andrew? Have you done any scale project updates?
No.
Oh man, the comic has the Eclipse in it the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
No,
I'm
I
stoked.
haven't touched any in a while. I get nothing.
I'll find a way to blow this up somehow. Because it's
So,
awesome.
yeah, now Brad is looking at it.
Yeah, I'm obsessed now.
Yeah, I guess that's it. So as always,
No.
No, what else you got? You
we're
got
not
more?
Done. We're not done.
I thought we were done.
We're gonna start doing Craig Don't Tell Me on episodes where we do listener questions. I think we discussed.
Right. Oh, but Brad just wants to get me with it because I sprung it
but
on him last week.
You sprung on me last week, and I didn't know that we were doing it again, and it became my obsession this week to put together some more for you. I put a little twist on it, though. I did Craig Don't Tell Me with a keyword.
We're gonna need like a intro theme music for Craig Don't Tell Me or something.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to figure that out. We'll have to ask Z28 for another song.
Yeah.
So I did Craig Don't Tell Me with a keyword.
Okay.
So my keyword this week was rare.
Okay.
So I searched the word rare in Craigslist to see what comes up.
All right.
So that's the clue you get.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with this car. So obviously you know every car has that word rare.
Okay.
Whether or not that's a clue is up to you because everybody thinks their car is rare. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
So I will skip the beginning of the description and read the second half of the bold description. Low miles, all the goodies, 400 horsepower, rare.
Okay.
Willing to sell, left over from the year it came, bought in late the year after it came out. Retailed $44,000. All the options: black, tan leather, aftermarket exhaust with SQ pipes. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
N-
Is it a Camaro?
no. New Z-rated Hankook Venti 12 tires, which I don't know what those are either, but it reminds me of the old Fast and the Furious line about the Gallo 12.
They're Z-rated.
I Z-rated. I got that. Hankook. I actually his Hankook.
It's a Corvette.
Damn, that's good. What gave it away so fast?
I don't know. It just seemed like a Corvette type of ad.
It does. Yeah,
But
Venti.
hold on. No, it's gonna be a C5.
It is a C5.
Yeah.
Damn it, that was too easy.
Um,
Vent-
I'm just going by the horsepower. The
Vent-
horsepower numbers.
Venti 12 tires, new custom black spider rims, new taillight covers, of course,
Yeah.
new rare spoiler,
Oh.
new
no.
front splinter. It says splinter. New front
Oh,
splinter,
No.
painted calipers, custom hood,
No.
3 suspension settings, Bose speakers with new JVC flat screen stereo,
No. No.
CD, DVD, Pandora, Spotify, iPod, MP3, Bluetooth.
Custom Corvettes are just don't often work.
Low miles driven May through November. My favorite line in the whole ad is the end of the ad. I'll skip a bunch of stuff because you already guessed the car. Mobile One synthetic oil changes. Had black mesh installed on all ports and openings. I was hoping to get to that line, but I didn't.
All right.
Willing to trade for Z06.
Wow. So it's not even a Z06.
No.
So how did it have 400 horsepower? Must be modified.
There's no listing of what the modifications would be to give it 400 horsepower.
Because the only thing that had 400 horsepower in a C5 was a Z06.
Yeah, well, this is a 99 C5 convertible.
That was like a 350 to 380 horse car when it
Yeah.
was new.
Yeah, because in '05 the Z06 had 405 horse.
Yeah.
So that was
Well,
6 years
from
after this.
'02 on.
Sorry, '02. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
And after '02, it went to 425 horse, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, you got the first one. It's a lucky guess.
All right. All right.
It's a lucky guess.
I should have went with Corvette was the first thing, and then I was like, maybe it's a Camaro. But just saying. Just saying.
Okay, so this car is $4,800
Okay.
in Haverhill, Massachusetts.
Okay.
I was told this is a rare find with only 4,000 ever made. But like everyone, I bought a project car which never seems to get worked on. I bought this a few years ago and have fixed all the mechanical issues, but it still needs bodywork. 4-speed manual, 4-cylinder, 4x4 with 104,000 miles. Runs great. I enjoy taking it to the beach, but just no time to fix it where I want it. It has doors.
It's like a CJ7.
Nope, but no top. Actually, it has a top, but someone made it, and it's not great. Although I do have a bikini for it.
Well, it's some sort of Jeep.
Nope. Oversized tires are good with a spare. Needs bodywork and paint. Sad to see her go, but needs more offer. Needs more love than I can give her. 4,800, a reasonable offer.
Is it Japanese?
Bold, no trades. Is not Japanese.
But is it American then?
It is American, yes.
And it's not a Jeep.
It is not a Jeep.
What would have a 4-cylinder? It's not. Is it like an S10 Blazer that somebody cut the roof off of?
No, this is a stock vehicle.
Whoa.
There's a lot of information in this ad, too.
I mean, all of it points to a Jeep, but it's not a Jeep.
It's not a Jeep.
Oh, what? And it's not
Honestly, at
Japanese.
$4,800, I kind of want to buy it.
It's not Japanese, so it can't be like a Jimmy or a Suzuki.
A Jimmy would be American.
A Suzuki Jimmy?
Oh, a Jimny.
Jimny.
Yeah, it's not that, no.
I don't know.
Can we give you a year?
Yeah.
It's a 77.
4-cylinder.
4-cylinder, 4-speed, 4x4. That's a lot of
With a
fours.
4-cylinder?
Yeah.
What American 4x4 came with a 4-cylinder?
Just one. I
don't
think I
know.
win this round.
You got me. I got nothing.
That's a 77 International Super Scout 2.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh. So, yeah, I should have went more obscure.
Yeah, well, that's why I went with it.
Because see,
I
I
told
thought.
you, again, the key word is rare. So sometimes it might actually be rare.
Oh, see, I thought. I thought Scouts had V8s.
They did.
Yeah.
And inline sixes and 4-cylinders. Also diesels.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of options.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the same. You know that white one that we see all the time that goes to Cars and Coffee with the green interior?
Yeah.
It's the same exact truck.
Mm-hmm.
Just the black interior. It has the black sections where the soft doors go and all that stuff. All right, I have one more for you.
All right.
I'm going to give you the year right off the bat. It's
Okay.
1999,
All right.
and the price is $17,995.
Okay.
We're happy to be able to offer for sale this rare blank with only 18,000 original miles on this time capsule vehicle. Red with tan leather, climate control garage kept, yada 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 about that stuff. Every factory option available with this model, including chrome wheels, sport styling, storage compartment, CD player, and many more. Comes with original window sticker, original owner's manuals, and still in the package OEM mats. This truck has never been driven in element. Oh, I blew it there. Damn it.
Oh, it's a truck.
Damn
All
it,
right.
I blew it. This vehicle has never been driven in the elements, and it is truly a definition of, in quotes, all capitals, pristine, end quotes, vehicle. It will not disappoint anyone.
SVT Lightning.
Negative. This vehicle came out of a private car collection. Pictures do not do this truck. Pictures do not do this truck no justice. It is a must see.
Oh.
It is a must see, touch, and drive. Please feel free to request additional.
What the
Pictures.
hell in '99 then?
This vehicle is showing by appointment only! Exclamation point. So I can go back because I left a couple of things out when I was giving a description because I didn't
What?
want to give away that it was a truck.
What would be desirable as a truck in '99? What the heck was out? So other than like a Lightning,
It's not a Lightning.
if it's not a Lightning, then the SSR was not '99.
Nope, it's not that either. So
Oh my gosh. Is it a Ram like RT10 with the Viper engine?
it is not.
Really? Okay.
It is not. It is a V8.
What did Chevy have? That Chevy didn't have anything cool. The 454 SS would have been too early.
Yeah, it's not that. I feel kind of bad at this point because you partially have guessed it in one of your previous guesses, but you went too far with the options list afterwards.
It's just a Dodge Ram.
It's just a Dodge Ram. It's a plain Jane Dodge Ram. Nothing special. Not fancy truck at all. Just a red $18,000 99 Dodge Ram.
Just a red first gen Ram.
Yes. Which they want $1 per mile it's been driven.
Yeah, it's not even like the only thing significant about that body style is that it debuted that new styling
But that was
in
3 years.
'93.
No, later than that. 97.
4,
No, 90, maybe 94, you're right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
the Kenworth styling, which became iconic.
Yep.
It is an iconic truck,
Not that iconic.
but
I mean, don't get me wrong.
at 19,000 miles, I'm not at 17 grand.
The truck is pristine.
Yeah.
Quotations, all bold capitals. It really is.
Maybe it's 8 to ten
It
thousand.
it still has chalk marks on the tires and stuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like it's a really nice truck. But anyway,
It's like a Radwood royalty truck.
it's almost too late being 99. I did have one other one that I found, which I'm not going to make you guess because you're never going to guess it.
Okay.
But it blew my mind that it exists.
All right.
It's a 1967 Abercrombie and Fitch
What?
Ford replica.
What?
Yeah, I had to do some research when I found this thing to find out what it was.
Abercrombie and Fitch has been around that long.
Apparently they have, yes. So in 1967, this company made called hold on, Glassic Industries.
They sound like they build fiberglass vehicles.
They build fiberglass cars.
Okay.
So they built a fiberglass copy of a 31 Ford Phaeton, which is not a car that anybody would desire. So why they made that, I don't know, but they did. They made 1,600 of them. They're based out of Palm Beach, Florida, which obviously is
That checks out.
yeah,
I mean, you also have like there's a lot of boating down there. That's why there's a fiberglass specialist.
right. Anyway, this one here has pictures from Abercrombie and Fitch, from their like an invoice from Abercrombie and Fitch to purchase the car from their catalog in 1967 for $4,925. I'll send you a link to it so you can see it.
Yeah. I don't even know what this looks like.
It looks like a 31 Model A with just a fake one.
What chassis is it based on? Does it even say?
It might. I don't think I haven't got that far. I was just blown away that Abercrombie and Fitch was a store for that long, number one. And that it just says Pinto 4 cylinders.
The Abercrombie Runabout.
Yeah. Oh, they also made they came with Pinto 4 cylinders and International Scout 4 cylinders, which ties into our last one. Yeah, it doesn't say what frame it's on.
That is, weird. So here you go right here. So Glassic built around 20 to 30 cars for Abercrombie and Fitch to sell primarily through their Christmas catalog under a promotion for the man who had everything.
Right. So Abercrombie and Fitch was douchey in 1967 as well. Is
So
what I'm learning
most
here.
of the cars were sold through West Palm Beach in Miami, and the cars were charged to a particular store. This was not great for the store's profit page since the cars usually had much smaller markup than other high-priced items. Except they had a custom-made medallion in the front that said Abercrombie Runabout. Wow. That's
Yeah, the one-piece fiberglass body is then mounted on an International Harvester Scout chassis, 100-inch wheelbase, 93 horsepower, 4-cylinder.
weird. So weird.
Yeah, the frame, springs, brakes, and power transmission system are built to truck standards. It is powered by an International Comanche engine, which owes its heritage to years. Yada yada yada. You can use this car in hunting, camp, fishing, lodge, drive it over fields to a hunt meet, whistle it down the station each morning, trek it over the hard sand at the beach, because the International Harvester chassis and engine are made to take the roughness of the outdoor bumpy country.
It's just like a weird-looking kit car.
Yeah, it's just a typical looking late 60s kit car that like misses the mark by a little bit. So it's obviously a kit car.
But at this point, nobody knows what it is, so they just assume it's an old car.
Right.
But it is an old car.
I mean, at this point, it's 1967. It's an antique in its own right.
Yeah, but it's not like a. It's not like that's not brass era.
No, it's after brass
It's after
era,
brass
yeah.
era.
This is like Prohibition era.
Yeah, it's so weird. That is
Right?
the strangest special edition that I've ever heard of. Actually.
Yeah. It goes back to our special edition show
Yep.
many
Yep.
episodes ago.
Man.
But
And it's in Lowell, Massachusetts.
yeah, 16 grand.
That is bizarre.
I think I paid 19 grand for the pickup truck before I paid 16 grand for this.
Wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's in really good shape. But it's.
I'd rather have a Scout.
Yeah. I'd rather find one of these all, deteriorated on top and with a nice Scout chassis under it to restore a Scout.
So strange.
But I was surprised by a few things. I was surprised that Abercrombie and Fitch has been a store for that long, and I was surprised that anybody would make a kit of a 31 Phaeton. That's a very undesirable car. But anyway, that's all. That's our quick Craig Don't Tell Me game this week.
Cool. And on that note, we'll get out of here. You can find us on Facebook, Auto Off Topic Podcast, Instagram, Auto Off Topic. You can find me on Instagram, Race and Anger. Go follow the Gearhead Project podcast. Go check out Gearbox Magazine.
Don't forget to buy Z28's album, Nobody Rides for Free.
100%. And where can they find you, Brad?
TSISS350 on Instagram.
Cool. And as always, keep cars analog and aim for the roses.